which I was tried with this local host, where even we have find number of methods, and this was just a labeling that JDBC driver. So we have mentioned that driver, and even we have mentioned that URL as well as that user and password. So these are all manual that we are creating. So as I was been hide those details over here, and you just need to use this particular consent directly with the get connection method. So I already told you that initially you need to find out that driver about, because the driver manager has to redirect to this for the connecting to a selected database, the connecting to the selected database which is made by this method, that is get connection. And in that get connection, it has shows the path where we are, where the database has been stored, and here it has been stored. Okay, so now I was run this. So as you all see what type of thing which has happened while I running this. So it is connected with the database. It has communications link failure, and it throws an exception as communications exception, right? I think you all know that yesterday which I was faced this particular issue, and how come I solved this particular issue with this. So we can make the connectivity why this was happened, because it is not able to connect with the database. Okay, so now what I want to do is, so I just open my XAMPP for accessing my SQL. I think here my XAMPP is visible to you. So I just need to start this, because once it was connected with a MySQL server, then only it can be resolved. So this is now the MySQL has been started, and now I was run this. Then you can see what type of error has been thrown. So the error is different now, because the server has been started. So now again it was throwing that. So now the program has been run successfully. So before starting that MySQL server, it was showing that error, right? It was showing that error, and that is communication failure, which it was showed. But now it has been executed. Now the it was inserting the records into tables also, but it can't able to find this registration database over there. Okay, so that is what it is showing that error. So where while we are running this, I think it can executed this thing successfully, right? So here when you run JDBC example, it produces the following result. I think we can achieve this result, but we can't see the backend, right? So we are not seeing that backend here. I think we are getting that output along with this exception being happened, that is my SQL syntax error exception being happened. Okay, so now what we have to do in this is, so we must need to create a database over that in this. So how can we create and where to create that database? So for that, what I want to do is, so I will do this, that is localhost 8080 slash php my admin. So in this, what you have to do, I think it was referred this test folder where it was mentioned there in this. So here test dot registration does not exist. Okay, so that is how it was showing. This is the record that it was showing that it was missing. So what we have to do, we have to create this registration database over there. Okay, so we'll create a database. So we'll create the table name. What is that? Registration. So I think here it is, because we are inserting the values. Once the connection has been established with the database successfully, then what you have to do, you must you are going to insert the records into the table. So in which table? So here it was showing that because it has to refer this local host test. So the test will be not contains this registration. So we are creating the database over there. So we are creating the table, and it has four columns where the data which you are inserting here is how many columns? I think 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it requires four columns. So we are creating the registration table over with four columns, and then you have to give go. Then what are all the column names which they specified in that code, that is in Java application? So it has a number, and followed by a name, and followed by a age. So this is the first name and last name, whereas this is what age. Okay, I think you all been known about this particular thing. So what I want to do is, so I was creating the database in this. So here I have set, so the first column which we are referred as serial number or UID. Even you can mention whatever your perspective. So that is UID. Then second column, that is first name, and in third column it has last name, and in fourth column it is age. And we have to fix the data type of this particular value which we have to store in the database. So we need to set the value for UID. So UID, most probably you might have used varchar, that is both number as well as integer. The integer as well as alphabets both will be there. So we might have used that varchar is best. But here in this database which they are mentioned only numbers, so I have given that integer itself, and the length of the value is 4, because so up to that only we have get admission. So even we have used even 4 is enough. And here we have first name. So in this you must refer this varchar, or even you can refer any other character. I just simply use varchar, and I use the length as 20. So you can fix any of the length. So and age, of course, it's an integer value only, so its limit is 3. So this is how we have created that database. Because as we are inserting the value in this database, it requires the database name, that is